Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel. My name is Rich. The name of the channel is Rich the Return Rider. For all of you folks that's here for the first time, thanks for tuning in. For all you first return viewers, I appreciate you coming back. For all that subscribe to the channel, guys, appreciate the support. For you folks that haven't yet subscribed, guys, hit that subscribe button so we can continue to bring you some of this content. So today, out guys on an overcast day here, coming to you from Lake City, Florida. And we are out for some throttle therapy. We are on my 2019 Honda Goldwing Ruby. And we're gonna start our video out here with, again, a figure 8. As we run some errands. Now, as you can see there from the title, guys, the Performance Honda Goldwing. And guys, why I'm doing this video here is because of a YouTube video that I watch with a company out there called BT Moto. This is a company guy that has provided, according to what they say, the first flash for the 2018 and up Honda Goldwing. And I'm excited about it, man. And what I'm excited about, guys, is having options. Now, I know this motorcycle is revered for its touring ability. Of course, considered to be one of the best touring motorcycles out there, the Cadillac of motorcycles, as they call it. But guys, this motorcycle is also a performance motorcycle. Well, I gotta be honest with you guys, most of the motorcycles that I have rode to this point all feel like performance vehicles. And what I'm saying, man, is that, again, it's only my opinion. You know what they say, guys? Opinions is like assholes. Everybody's got one. But I have said in a number of different videos before that I believe when Honda made this motorcycle, they were targeting a wider demographics of consumers, of customers. When you look at the slimmed down, sexier version, I always say, is the previous generation motorcycle, Honda Goldwings, I see a sports touring motorcycle. When I roll on the throttle of this motorcycle, guys, one of the things that brings a smile to my face every time is that 125 horsepower with 125 foot-pounds of torque, 1833 cc's. The performance, guys, can't get away from the fact that this motorcycle have performance. And you know, I've watched videos. I've never rode the previous Honda Generation 5 or so Honda Goldwing, but was always told that Honda has made performance in even the previous generation. So they're not new to the performance of these motorcycles, but we know what they specialize in is touring and long distance touring. Now I'm going to credit some of the things that I'm talking about here to a video that I watched with a gentleman. His YouTube channel is called Payne's Rider. And he has purchased this BT Moto ECU flash. Just like me, I have the manual, he have the manual. And he seemed to endorse this product. And it's quite a bit of followers out there that is very interested in having an ECU flash on their Honda Goldwing. But on the other hand, there's some folks out there that seems to be saying, hey, we don't need all that performance. The motorcycle have plenty of performance as it is. What I think people seem to misunderstand when it comes to the tuning, especially of these Japanese motorcycles, is that you're not doing harm by doing a flash to these motorcycles. For the most part, with the EPA standards and so forth, and you know, these motorcycles come from the dealerships, guys, with a really bass tune. And in some instances, even though it might be sufficient for most, the idea of having a little bit more, guys, can't hurt. The idea of having this motorcycle run in its optimal ranges is a good thing. What was explained to me as I went to RevZilla and I started doing my research and my due diligence, There's a great video that they provide talking about the difference between having an ECU flash and adding a power commander and stuff like that to this motorcycle, or to the Japanese motorcycles, and how efficient they make the motorcycles run. In some cases, these bikes are running pretty lean. Of course, they're trying to maximize the amount of miles per gallon they can get from them. But what I'm talking about today, guys, is, you know, as my wife and I was talking, she asked me the question, why do they call the Honda Goldwing an old man motorcycle? Now, there's plenty of videos out there that will clearly explain that to her. But you see, I'm not one that's going to conform to that. I am that guy that is saying this motorcycle is not just a touring motorcycle, it's a sports touring motorcycle. Now, when I look at the comment, guys, in the comment section, the comments in the comment section of this guy, Payne's Rider, the first commenter clearly said, hey man, if that stuff makes you happy, great. But I'm happy with the motorcycle that I have. I'm happy with what Honda provided, and that's all well and good. But I have seen comments in different comment sections where folks were really skeptical of doing anything. The Honda Goldwing is a perfect motorcycle. Guys, as I'm watching the video with BT Moto go out and he do a pre-ride and a post-ride before and after the tune. On the pre-ride, he did explain, man, this motorcycle is awesome. But we can make it better. Apparently there's some roughness and stuff, especially the one he was testing is in the DCT version. And you know, there are ways to remove certain things or to tune certain things a little better. In some cases, he talked about removing that top speed governor, as he called it, the pesky governor. Well, on the DCT, I think it actually is governed at 105 miles an hour. Now, I've done a video, guys, where I talked about going out and testing this motorcycle, as I was a little disappointed that the top speed on the Honda Goldwing was only 115 miles an hour. And got some interesting, some good and very interesting feedback in the comment section. I always say, guys, the comment section is where the magic happens. A lot of folks say, yeah, 100 miles an hour is plenty fast. Other folks say, yeah, you know, I don't need to do 100 miles an hour, and that's fine. But guys, having options is what it's all about. Now, the one comment that I'm going to address as I am doing this video, first of all, as we talk about making comments respectful, is one commenter, as I was doing this video, I tried to look up that commenter's video comment, and he said, who gives a shit? Well, how I responded to him, it was, thanks for watching the video. Now, I see he looked like after I said that, he had removed the comment, and that's fine. But the comment that I want to address, guys, is a commenter that said, hey, who wants to do more than 100 miles an hour on a lead wing? And I was like, well, what is a lead wing? And what does he mean by that? Now, also in the comment section with folks that say, yeah, I've done 120 on the comment, you know, on my Goldwing. And now, as much as I love and appreciate the comments in the comment section, guys, and a lot of it is real helpful and useful, when I see something that I think is BS, I'm going to call it out. On that specific day that I was test riding the Honda Goldwing and I got it to 112 miles an hour, this motorcycle was more stable than any car that I've been in, or most cars that I've been in over 100 miles an hour, and I've been in plenty. I remember back in the 80s, my brother took my dad's 1971 Plymouth Fury out, and as he had it on the turnpike trying to max it out, that thing felt like a boat on water on a stormy day. It's unstable. And the next thing he did was he also took my dad's 1974 Cadillac out and did the same thing. And again, felt like those things were not good or comfortable at high speeds. Well, I'm going to tell you, folks, that's not the case with the Honda Goldwing. At 112 miles an hour, this motorcycle felt like it was at 70 or 80 miles an hour. That's how stable it was. If you watch the BT Moto video, the guy actually talks about removing the governor off of the motorcycle, and you're going to see him actually running the bike. This is a DCT at 125 miles an hour. You don't see shake, rattle, or roll. Well, maybe he had his camera on stabilization, but that bike was as comfortable and as stable at high speeds as any sports bike would be.
Wall, but it really doesn't. So I'm going to show you just manually shifting this thing, how it gets over that 100 miles per hour, 120, 25-ish, 125-ish, yeah.
So I'm gonna call BS on this bike, unstable motorcycle like that. But this motorcycle, guys, is a sports touring motorcycle. In the comment where the guy said in Payne's Rider's video, the motorcycle is a touring motorcycle. Guys, you think Honda made this Generation 6 Honda Goldwing a little slimmer, a little more aerodynamic, less fuel in the fuel tank, 5.5 gallon as opposed to a 6.5 gallon tank. They gave it a little bit more horsepower. You think they made this just for folks to tour around and pull trailers with? You see, the narrative that folks make this an old man motorcycle has got to stop, guys. See, Harley Davidson don't do that, and Harley Davidson folks don't do that. You know, when I'm watching the likes of these guys like Robert Simmons and them, a guy that owned 4 Harley Davidsons, they promote it like Harley Davidson is the greatest thing out there. I recently watched a video with a guy, another YouTuber called Wood Jr., if you guys in the Honda Goldwing community don't know who that is, running out to India and taking pictures of the price of the Indian motorcycles as he's go back to Harley Davidson to prove that Harley Davidson provides the best bang for the buck. Now, I've done a video where I talk about this motorcycle being the best bang for the buck right out the, you know, right out the showroom. Heated seats, heated grips, performance. The Goldwing community doesn't do that. For everything that's an option out there, there's somebody in a forum that's talking about how bad of an idea it is. There's a gentleman out there that came out with something called an egg exhaust. I met him at Daytona and I did a video about it. Now, this gentleman, according to him, has been traveling throughout parts of the US, and when people hear his motorcycle and the grunt that it have, they asking, where the hell did you get those exhausts? So he decided to come up with this idea that he will create this system, take it, have it dyno. Apparently, on the dyno, it produced 10 more horsepower with 4 more foot-pounds of torque. And there's a bunch of folks that's been waiting for that exhaust system. Now, Buddy St. Pierre is his name. He just recently came out and did a video as he was waiting to distribute his products after being in development for a couple of years, and apparently they don't fit the way that he expected them to. Now, again, options, guys. I wish Buddy some success going forward. I hope he continue to produce that product because there are folks out there that want it. But if you go to a forum, again, talking about be respectful, you go to a forum, there's folks out there talking about this, oh, it looks so ugly and this and that. And if you, I think also there's a content creator that, again, as he was talking about BT Moto tune and that egg exhaust, Big Smitty did a video where he said folks say to him, hey, if you want to do all of that, why don't you just buy a Harley Davidson?
Pipes are like, yeah, go ride a Harley, and I'm like, but I like my wing. I don't want to go buy a Harley. Can I just?
And he's like, man, I love my Goldwing. I just want options. See, Harley Davidson puts the base motorcycle out there. And then they built all these accessories and they tell you, change the handlebars, change the exhaust, do this, do that to make it suit you. And folks are more than happy to make that motorcycle theirs. The Honda Goldwing community, man, as soon as somebody come up with something, is starting to say, well, it's an old man's motorcycle. It's a touring motorcycle. Why do you want to do that with a Goldwing? Guys, inviting folks to ride this motorcycle, getting the millennials out to test ride a Honda Goldwing is not a bad thing. You see, there was a time when everyone was wondering in 2023, and so is Honda going to come out with the 2024 Goldwing? Why should Honda target a community of folks that's 70, 80, and 90 years old, when in a couple of years, those folks are going to be, us folks are going to be unable, because of some ailment or whatever it is, to ride the motorcycles. And the narrative that it's an old man motorcycle is something that we can't even pass down to our kids. Now, when I look at this motorcycle amongst the competition, guys, and when I'm saying the competition, I'm talking about all the other touring motorcycles, there's none of them that fits the sports touring motorcycles more than the Honda Goldwing. As my nephew came down to visit me And he came down with multiple sports bikes and wanted to take his wife along some of these rides. The wife was like, I'm not getting on the back of a sports bike. So I was more than happy to tell her, hey man, let's introduce you to the world of cruisers, of tours. Now, because of his exotic taste, I decided to introduce him to maybe a K1600 BMW, something that's known as a more sporty motorcycle. After all, the Honda Goldwing is an old man motorcycle. Now, as he got out and he test rode the Honda Goldwing, and he came back with a grin on his face after he twisted the throttle and felt how smooth and comfortable and maneuverable it was, he recently reached out to me to say, hey man, what is the 50th anniversary Honda Goldwing going to be like? Now, I don't know. But folks, I encourage Honda Goldwing folks to encourage people like Harley Davidson and all these other folks to go out and test ride this beautiful machinery. You know, and the counterpart to Robert Simmons and them is another friend of them that's a content creator called Finesse the Challenger, and him and his wife became ambassadors for Indian because they are so fascinated with the Indian brand and encourage any and everyone again to buy an Indian. The Indian is not an old man motorcycle. These big bagger Harley Davidsons is not an old man motorcycle. Guys, BT Moto is saying, hey man, we can make your motorcycle feel a little bit more lively. This Honda Goldwing that is known for touring is also known for carving the canyons. This motorcycle is not your father's Honda Goldwing.
Can flex the muscle on the DCT. Just listen to this bike, guys. Wow.
It's a performance motorcycle. Now I'm excited about this new Flash that's coming out. You know what I'm gonna say, folks, the best advice I've received is, hey man, Rich, do your due diligence. Get out there, purchase what you want, whatever makes you happy. You know, I'm gonna end my video with this, guys. As I was at Daytona test riding that DCT, I was sitting amongst two couples. One of them, a couple on a BMW and another one on a Harley Davidson. And as we talk about why we purchased the different motorcycles that we purchased and why they were out to test ride this DCT motorcycle, I said to them, hey, you know what? The Honda Goldwing is still the golden standard. If we was talking in the way of Olympic medals, the Honda Goldwing is the gold medal. You guys could decide who is bronze and who is silver. Anyway, folks, thanks BT Moto, man. I'm going to be reaching out to you guys. What I want to do is have my fuel pump changed first. Apparently here in Florida, I don't know where else, we have to take the bikes in. They have to order the parts. We have to leave the bike, get the fuel pump. I'm going to take the motorcycle to a dyno and make sure I have it dyno before I install that BT ECU flash. And I'm going to do kind of a pre and a post if I decide to get it. You know, the other narrative is, guys, that old men ride Honda Goldwings because they got disposable income. I don't know what disposable income is, folks. You know, I work hard for my money. I do my research before I spend a big amount of money, or any amounts of money. But one of the things that I think will be worth it for $75 or so is to get in a pre and post dyno just to see the difference in what the motorcycle does. Anyway, folks, this is Rich out on Ruby, the 2019 Honda Goldwing. You know what I always say in my videos, guys, I don't care what you ride. Get in the parking lot. Do the emergency braking and swerving. The experts say that's the one things that we could have in our toolbox that might save our lives out there on the streets. Add some protection to the motorcycle, get in the parking lot, do the advanced safety classes, do the concourses, all the things to give us full control of the bike. It's better that you drop your bike on the concourse or on the parking lot than to crash them out there on the streets. Rich out on Ruby, the 2019 Honda Goldwing. Stock for now, but anticipating a flash, and I'm out.